Good morning, friends. This is again Professor Srikant Jagtap, Assistant Professor working in Sinhagad College of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today, we will continue with the job evaluation. During the last lecture, we have learned about the objectives of job evaluation, how the analysis was done, how the job description was done, job specification was done, and accordingly, how the wage survey and employee classification was done. Today, Today we will learn about job evaluation methods. Basically, there are two methods, that is non-analytical method and analytical method. In non-analytical method, there is ranking method, there is classification method, and in analytical method, there is factor method and point method. In non-analytical methods are designed on the basis of jobs, and in analytical methods are designed on the basis of the requirements and the elements of the job. Let us go to the first method, that is ranking method. As you can see on the slide, it is the simplest method of job evaluation. In this method, jobs are arranged from highest to the lowest order, and their value or the merit or the worth to the organization is calculated. Jobs can be arranged according to the relative difficulty in performing them. Means the planning phase or the difficulty phase or the decision making phase. Accordingly, they are ranked. Jobs are usually ranked in each department, and then the department rankings are combined to develop an organizational ranking. Means, if we talk about our college, then college ranking is made, then departmental ranking is made, and then the combination of overall college ranking and departmental ranking is considered, and then the job evaluation is done. Now, in the ranking method, let us take the example of job title: engineer, accountant, purchase assistant, machine operator, and office boy. See, when we are ranking them, obviously the rank of engineer is at the top, who is working on the shop, on the floor for the product. The accountant, who is doing the clerical job and all the account section work. Then the purchase assistant, who is doing the purchase for the manufacturing of the products. Then the actual operator, who is working on the machine, and obviously the helper. Means these are the grades. Let us assume that the grades are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and according to that grade, their rank, their salaries can be defined in a descending order from top to bottom. Means here, for example, we have taken engineer salary as 25,000, accountant salary as 20,000, purchase assistant as 18,000, and so on. The basic disadvantage in this type of ranking method is that it lacks substantiating data for the latter use. Means we have upgraded just a rank, but in case in future there exists another rank, then this type of ranking method may be obsolete. And as we can see on the chart, only 5 to 6 persons are there. If in an organization structure thousands of workers or the laborers or the officers are working, then this system doesn't work. Next, we will go to the job classifications. According to this method, a predetermined number of job groups or the job classes are established, and jobs are assigned to these classifications. This method places groups of jobs into job classes or job grades. Separate classes may include office, clerical, managerial, personnel. Means in an industry there can be a production shop, there can be a marketing shop, there can be a office, there can be a HRD department, and according to departments the jobs are classified. Means an engineer working on a shop floor will be having a different weightage, an engineer working in an office in a tool engineering department or in a drawing and design department will have the different weightage. Similarly is with the help of is in case of working personnels. See, the job classification can be done as you can see on the screen, that is executives. They include managers, deputy office managers, supervisors, and etc. Then the skilled workers, they can be purchasing assistants, they can be cashiers, receipts, clerks. Okay, means it includes both purchase and stores. The semi-skilled workers means stenotypists, machine operators, switchboard operators, and last, that is semi-skilled workers means the file clerks, office boys, and so on. Accordingly the job classification is done and their evaluation is done and the wage structure is defined. So in this method, the basic advantage is that the jobs, people, teams can be quickly slotted, they can be quickly differentiated, and their validity for employees can be easily classified, and they are very explicit. But the basic disadvantage is that many jobs, people, or teams do not fit nearly into classification level. Means we do have the limitation of classification and everybody cannot be distinctly placed in each class. For classification, the higher level management needs a extensive judgment. They, by their experience, by their observation, by their feedback, by their appraisal, have to classify the personnels. The difference between classification levels may not be equal. See, to do the classification, exhaustive study is required along with the experience. The basic drawback of this type is it creates a hierarchies, a level difference within the organization and may lead to a small conflict. The next method is a point method. This method is widely used in any organization. In this case, the jobs are expressed in terms of key factors and every points are assigned to each factor after prioritizing which factor is important for that particular work. The points are assumed to be determine the wage rate for the job. In the next slide we can see that how the points are graded. Means if it is a skill, we have to talk about education, experience, the initiative taken by the personnel, or the efforts. It can be a physical demand effort, a mental effort, or a visual demand effort. The fourth point is responsibility. This can be a responsibility of equipment or a process. It can be a responsibility for materials or a product. Safety, responsibility, or the job conditions, that is working conditions and hazards. See, a sample chart is prepared over there. Means the skills are on the left side. It includes skill, efforts, responsibility, and job conditions. And accordingly, the degree is given. See, if you take an example of electrician and a plumber, electrician requires a skill, plumber also requires a skill, but when it is talked about efforts, the efforts of plumber are more, and accordingly the points as far as efforts is considered, it will go to plumber. But as far as knowledge is concerned, the more points will be given to the electricians, and accordingly the points are allotted. The person who gets the maximum points, his wage structure is defined accordingly. The last is factor comparison method. In factor comparison method, it is very much systematic scientific method. It is a most complex method of all actually, and it is quite appreciable by many management. Under this method, instead of ranking complete jobs, each job is ranked according to the series of factors. Means ranking is not done, instead a job itself is ranked. Means it includes mental effort, physical effort, skill, responsibility, working conditions, know-how, problem-solving abilities, accountability, and accordingly the factors or the wages are assigned depending upon those factors. The basic process is a benchmark job is considered, and according to that benchmark job, other compensable factors are defined, and then that method is used to fix the pay. Means the pay from skill, pay from efforts, pay from responsibility, pay from working conditions, and from so on his wage structure is defined. Means in this case the job is ranked, not the person. In the second last slide, we will see the comparison of job evaluation methods. See, in the ranking, it is very fast, simple, and easy to explain and suitable for small organizations. The basic disadvantage is it is not so accurate, not useful for large organizations. In classification method, it can group a wide range of work together in one system. It is very much simple, more accurate than other methods, specifically ranking method, but not useful for large organizations. It is very much time consuming and involves detailed job analysis. In the point method, it is a compensable factors. It requires mathematical calculations and can become basic disadvantage, a bureaucratic and a rule bound. In the last slide, factor comparison method, the basic advantage is it finds wages for jobs. Wages can be calculated speedily, greater consistency in the judgment, size of the jobs can be measured, but the basic disadvantage is expensive and time consuming. So this was altogether regarding job evaluation. In the first lecture, we learned about the basics of job evaluation, and today we have learned about methods of job evaluation. In the next lecture, we will learn about merit rating. See, job evaluation and merit rating both are parallel lines, but they do have a thin parting line. This we will learn in the next lecture. Thank you.